Hey guys, I hope everyone has been staying sane and safe through these times. I have never done this, but I felt the need to. Um, my power is in my voice, and I wanted to use my voice to bring some kind of awareness, and this platform is the perfect place to do so. Many of you know me because from North Carolina. I actually was born and raised there up until I was 18. And I had a very unique experience living in a southern state as a black woman. And because of my temperament, a lot of people wouldn't have thought that my experience as a black woman in North Carolina was as awful as it was. And I say awful because specifically when it came to my race. I didn't have an awful life, but being a black woman in a predominantly white southern state was an awful experience. Since I can remember starting in elementary school, my blackness was made known to me as a problem. I was never seen the same as my white counterpart. I wasn't valued the same. And even as a 4 year old, as a 5 year old, I knew that. I knew I was different. I knew I was seen differently by my teachers. I could even name you countless stories of how that was the case. Um, and the one that comes to mind, first grade, one of the first experiences, um, one that day my mom had given me a quarter to go buy a cookie for lunch. And so before lunch, I was holding my holding my 25 cents in my hand, ready and excited that I got to get my cookie later. And there was another classmate of mine who was white, and she had lost a quarter that she had, and she went and reported it to the teacher. And I guess they noticed that I had a quarter in my hands and assumed I had stolen her quarter. Nobody asked me, nobody confronted me. I was just literally out of the blue um, confronted and told that I need to give the quarter, my quarter, to the my classmate, to my white classmate. And I had no idea what was going on. I didn't understand why nobody believed me, or why no one asked me, "Hey, is that your quarter?" or "Hey, is that her quarter?" It was just automatically assumed I stole it. So the quarter, obviously nobody believed me. The quarter was taken from me, and I remember how heartbroken I was that right then my voice was taken from me, and that I was not given the benefit of the doubt as a 4 year old, and it was assumed that I was the one that stole it from her. That's where it started for me as a 5 or 6 year old. Moving on through middle school, multiple times, because the majority of my friends were white. I remember I would hear comments from families um, of microaggressions and of things that they would talk about black people in front of me. I was constantly told, "You're not black. You're just like us," as if just because I was calm and I was pleasant and they liked me, that somehow I was just inherently not black. That was more white than black because of those qualities, or because that I was their friend. I was constantly told that I was the white black girl. Um, Throughout middle to high school, um, even though I was a beautiful girl, had a great personality, parents loved me, all these things, never once did any of the guys that I liked in middle or high school ever like me, simply because I was black. I've been told multiple times, I don't like black girls, so sorry. Even though you're awesome and you're my friend, and I enjoy your company, the simple fact that you're black, I can't like you. As if that was a preference, as if that was something that could be, "Oh, I just don't like black people." Like, that's racism. I remember the first time I was called the N-word, as a joke, and when I reacted, I was gaslighted and told that, "Calm down, it was just a joke." I remember constantly having my blackness just like dangled in front of me to taunt me or to put me in my place. And I am a very, very kind person. If you know me, there is not a single hateful bone in my body. I remember the moment I broke in middle school. And I'm not gonna... Ooh. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. This is real. This is real. I remember in middle school, 7th grade, a girl I didn't really know. I knew of her, didn't really know her. I was walking down the hallway, and there was me and my class were walking this way, and another class is walking the opposite way. And she's walking past me, and she was high-fiving other people in front of me. And her hand comes to me, and I'm like, okay, I'll high-five her. I don't know her, but as soon as she's about to high-five me, she slaps me and says the N-word. And to her, she thought she was just going to keep on walking. And I remember just seeing black, and I was in rage. And I said, excuse me, what did you just say? And she's laughing and having the time of her life. Like, that was just the funniest thing. And she keeps moving, and I can't stop because the class is still going, like, to the classroom. So we get to the classroom, and I remember the whole class, I couldn't think, I couldn't pay attention. I was in rage. I couldn't believe she thought that that was okay to do. I couldn't believe that she was so casual about that, and how she just laughed in my face and thought that she could actually get away with doing that to someone, especially someone she didn't know. She had no reason to do it. So I remember after class, I went and found her in the hallway, and I was just fed up, and I said, why do you think you could just say that and get away with it? And she saw that I was serious, and she saw that I was upset, and she got scared, and I hit her. In all of my rage and all of my confusion of the audacity that she had, I hit her, and she saw how serious I was, and I just remember the adrenaline and just seeing black, and I've never gotten that angry in my entire life. And it was so sad that I had to get to that place for something that I didn't even do. It would have made sense. It would have been better had I incited that, had I done something that would have provoked that. But me just being a black girl, walking to class with the rest of my class, led me to be harassed that way, to be attacked that way. And I remember that to this day, I've never been that angry in my life. That's just middle school, guys. Moving on through high school, being told by friends that racism doesn't exist in modern day America, having teachers that would blatantly make racist remarks and say that black people are thugs, and that whenever we'd be learning about history, there's always some underlying bias in the way that these teachers would teach history. And anytime we talked about black history, you already know we're only talking about racism. And so, or not racism, slavery and Jim Crow and all these very, and all these blatantly hateful and dehumanizing times in black history, right? And so every time, I'm one of 2 black people in every class, one of 2, if not the only. And so anytime we talk about these topics, all the eyes are on me, and in that moment, I know every black person can relate. You're looked at as, oh, your history is equivalent to slavery. That's it. That is your identity. That is where you came from. And it's belittling. It's dehumanizing. It's hurtful. And when we talk about white history, it is always this ethnocentric, power to the people, look what Americans did, we've done this and that, and it's this proud history that empowers these white people, but somehow, the only black history we'll ever talk about is dehumanizing, and that's an agenda in it of itself. But as a child, as a growing adult, as adolescent, I mean, to be conditioned in that way, to hear that your identity is minimized to that, it does something to you. It does something to you, and it does something to the white people hearing it. That it is, it's reaffirming this racist mindset, because to be racist doesn't just mean to hate black people. It's to think inherently that you're superior as a white person, that you're superior to black people. And I don't think people understand that media, history, the way, school, the education system, all these things are actually promoting that. And it's not that black people are thugs and they deserve all these things because they're acting this way, and then this is why people treat them this way. It's that you're only seeing those things, and so it's just perpetuating this cycle and this mindset. But actually, they don't show you the black fathers that are actually amazing caregivers. They don't show you the black men that are graduating and that are actually contributing to society. They don't show you the black people who are kind and loving people, being human. They don't show you that for a reason. What you see happening today is the rage and the pain of years and years of people who have experienced far worse than I've experienced. I am lucky that, as lucky as I can say, to have only been threatened emotionally and mentally, that my physical safety wasn't at risk. But my brothers have been. And I have to fear for their safety daily. This is a painful experience to be black in this country, and to be constantly having your experience belittled, to have it constantly be questioned and invalidated. So it hurts me when so many people I grew up with, so many people who know me, and my family, who are white and are white Christians, who don't understand, who don't empathize, who aren't outraged by what they see. To me, to be a Christ follower means that you are a lover of justice. You are a lover of people. And to be a lover of justice and a lover of people is to be the voice for the voiceless. It's to stand outside of yourself and put yourself in someone else's shoes, and to educate yourself, and to be sober-minded in the way that you process your information, in the way that you consume information. It's asking questions. It is taking on the side of education and awareness, and to love first. You are not loving people when you invalidate their experiences, when you call them a thug, when you say that they deserve it, when you say that, when all you focus on is the protest, when you don't focus on the pain, when you don't ask yourself what's really going on here. Why is it that people are in the streets yelling and crying and destroying property? No one wants to do that for fun. No one wants to wake up and say, let me just wreak havoc for no reason. As a human, dig deep and ask yourself, what is this? Where is this pain coming from? What is it? What am I not understanding? You have an obligation as a human, as a lover of Christ, as a follower of Christ, to ask these questions, to not invalidate the experiences of your fellow humans. I want to say this so people can see that it's not the thugs and it's not the angry mobs. It is the normal people like me who have love in their heart, but who are hurting, who are hurt, and who feel very much unheard. I want that to become real to you. So if you care about me or about people like me, then I urge you and I encourage you to do some research, to ask questions. Don't be quick to invalidate or to defend yourself. This is not white versus black. This is all people against racism and injustice. Thank you for watching.